But the Indiana Fever went all out for Caitlin Clark's logo drop. So there was a lot of excitement already fluttering about Gamebridge, and energy was high. They definitely spared no expense in letting everybody know that Caitlin Clark does have a new logo out. The arena was actually covered with t-shirts that said Caitlin Clark was here. The outside of the arena had her logo everywhere. She even showed up with all these accoutrements with a CC logo in it.
A war is being fought in the world of basketball, but it's not happening on the court. It's a silent, corporate takeover unfolding in boardrooms and marketing meetings, with the WNBA as the territory being conquered. This isn't just about a rookie phenom or a new shoe deal. This is the story of how one player, backed by a global giant, became so powerful that she's making her own league irrelevant. The battle isn't for a championship trophy, it's for the soul of women's sports, and the opening shot wasn't a buzzer beater. It was the reveal of a simple logo that served as a declaration of war, signaling a seismic shift in power that the league is only now beginning to comprehend.
But the more these up-and-coming next-generation young guns enter the league, it is becoming more and more apparent that the WNBA veterans did not do much to really advance the game of the WNBA. They didn't really develop the game as much as they like to think. You have these rookies coming in and doing in one season, and doing in less than a season and half a season, what it's taken these vets of the past 600, 700, 800, 900 games to do.
When the Indiana Fever announced the drop of Caitlin Clark's logo, it wasn't a press release, it was a carefully orchestrated invasion. Gamebridge Fieldhouse was transformed overnight into a temple dedicated to a single player. The arena was draped in her brand with t-shirts emblazoned with the bold statement, "Caitlin Clark was here," covering every single seat. It was a message of dominance. The exterior of the building became a massive billboard, a shrine to her new interlocking CC emblem. Visible for miles, she arrived for the game, not just as a player, but as a walking, breathing brand, dripping in custom gear that hadn't even hit the market yet.
Listen, Caitlin Clark had a huge announcement today. The new Caitlin Clark logo is out. She took to Twitter and said, tune in, logo collection coming soon. Signature product dropping 2026. I think we getting them new CCs, them logo 3 CCs in 2026, y'all. It'll be no more Kobe PEs, which we've loved. We about to get them Caitlin Clark sneakers. Let's take a look.
This was Nike sparing no expense, a flex of corporate muscle designed to send a chilling message to the entire sports world. They weren't just launching a product, they were staging a coronation. In that moment, Clark instantly became the first female basketball player in Nike's entire storied history to receive her own signature logo. This wasn't just a shoe deal, it was a distinction that catapulted her into the same sacred territory as Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. While other seasoned WNBA veterans were still fighting for basic media recognition, Nike had just made a rookie a living legend.
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail price.
This logo was far more than just a symbol. It was backed by a number so staggering, it put the entire league on notice. The deal was a jaw-dropping $28 million over 8 years, a figure that signaled Nike was betting more on Clark alone than on the collective future of the WNBA. The market responded instantly and violently. When her Kobe-inspired sneakers, decked out in Indiana Fever colors, sold out in mere minutes back in July, Nike's stock had already jumped 3%, but this announcement was different. This wasn't a limited collaboration. It was a long-term investment, a declaration that Clark was the beginning, middle, and end of their entire women's basketball strategy.
I've been telling y'all to stay patient. I've been telling y'all that Nike takes their time, that Asia Wilson's shoe deal was 2 years in the making, that Paige Beckers had PEs, not her own signature shoe, and that Caitlin Clark's was 100% coming. And people kept saying, oh, Nike fumbled the bag with Caitlin. It has to get out there. Nike fumbled the bag. No, they didn't. It takes time. She's got to develop a whole freaking product line. But they just announced, breaking news right now, we have a logo. That is the official Caitlin Clark Nike logo. And it's not just that. I mean, this is cool. Nike has just announced that a signature product line will be dropping soon, with signature shoes coming in 2026. Now, this is going to be her logo for all of her Nike stuff that is Caitlin Clark official stuff.
The public frenzy was immediate. Her $190 Player Edition sneakers were appearing on resale markets for nearly $600 within hours. People were lining up around the block, camping out at Dick's Sporting Goods stores just for a chance to own a piece of her brand. Social media exploded with fans lamenting their loss, saying, "I saw so many people who were so sad that they missed out on this shoe." It wasn't just demand, it was a cultural mania. Nike wasn't just collaborating with a star, they were harnessing a revolution, and the numbers proved it.
Clark has been a lightning rod for attention since entering the league. She brought in new fans, national media, and even primetime slots. Her absence isn't just hurting the Indiana Fever, it's apparently impacting the entire league's momentum. But this also sparks a deeper conversation. Is it fair for one rookie to carry the weight of an entire league's popularity? You see, critics say the WNBA's marketing has leaned heavily on Caitlin Clark, while longtime stars like Asia Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and others deserve more spotlight too. On the flip side, others argue Caitlin Clark is the draw, and the ratings prove it. Some even wonder.
While Clark's brand was reaching astronomical heights, a disaster was unfolding that would expose the WNBA's deepest, darkest fear. After a seemingly minor groin injury on July 15th, Clark was sidelined. What should have been a short-term manageable absence spiraled into a month-long saga, forcing her to miss 15 straight games. In her absence, the league didn't just dip, it completely collapsed. The viewership numbers, which had soared to historic, record-breaking heights whenever she played, cratered with terrifying speed. The WNBA All-Star Game, which should have been a celebration of the league's diverse talent, saw its viewership plummet by a catastrophic 36% from the previous year, dropping from 3.44 million viewers to just 2.19 million.
35%! WNBA ratings down, All-Star Game 35% than last year. Yet you're telling me that it doesn't have to do with Caitlin. 35%. It really makes it difficult for fans of the WNBA in general and Caitlin Clark, like myself, to have conversations, to join a Discord, just to I don't know, want to just talk up the WNBA in general when you can't even give Caitlin the props that she deserves.
Marquee matchups that once pulled in millions of viewers turned into ghost towns on television. A regular season game between the Fever and the Sky that had drawn an incredible 2.7 million viewers with Clark on the court became a national embarrassment in the rematch without her. The numbers were so devastatingly low, some networks simply stopped reporting them altogether to avoid the public humiliation. The league went from proudly posting every ratings win to a deafening, suspicious silence. The truth was laid bare for all to see. The WNBA didn't have a viewership problem. It had a crippling, life-threatening Clark dependency problem.
Caitlin will never be paid what she's worth by the WNBA because it is quite literally impossible for them to pay her what she's worth. An economist at Indiana University Columbus calculated that Caitlin Clark was responsible for $36 million in economic impact to the city of Indianapolis, and that she is responsible for 27% of the entire WNBA's economic activity for this past season, including attendance, merchandise sales, and television. One player.
Clark's injury, however, was just the tip of an iceberg that threatened to sink the entire league. The 2024 season devolved into a full-blown injury catastrophe, a crisis of unprecedented scale. Across the WNBA, players were dropping like flies. According to a report by The Next Hoops, the league suffered an unbelievable 212 separate injuries, leading to over 859 games missed by players, and that was with 2 weeks still left in the regular season. The crisis included 10 devastating, career-altering ACL tears and countless other serious ailments. The brand new Golden State Valkyries, a symbol of league expansion and hope, were hit with 27 different injuries alone. This wasn't just a string of bad luck, it was a systemic failure.
Means as much to their league, whatever league it is, as Caitlin Clark means to the WNBA. And no person has done more for their league than what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA. Patrick Mahomes does not mean that much to the NFL. Steph Curry does not mean that much to the NBA. LeBron James does not mean that much to the NBA. She is a monster. When we look back on this, Caitlin Clark will be for the WNBA what Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were for the NBA. If this thing ever becomes as big as some people think it can become, she will be the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. You needed two of them to take the NBA to another level. You needed Magic and Larry. She doesn't need anybody.
Critics argue the league, in its desperate push for more games and attention to capitalize on the Clark effect, had created a brutal, unsustainable environment. The grueling schedule, combined with the notoriously difficult commercial travel, was destroying its most valuable assets. This widespread chaos only made Nike's move seem more prescient. By building a financial and marketing fortress around Clark, they weren't just investing in a player, they were performing a rescue mission, pulling their chosen one from a league that was proving day after day that it was incapable of protecting its own stars.
A 10 for 10, and a lot of people have been getting on Nike because they don't feel like they have been promoting Caitlin as much as they should. But I will say we have to give credit where credit is due. I feel like in the past month or so, they have been tweeting about Caitlin more, and then obviously with this shoe release, they made this super sick commercial to promote it. And of course, just today, Caitlin Clark's new Kobe PE shoe sold out in less than a minute. And I saw so many tweets about this, so many people who were so sad that they missed out on this shoe. I saw that there was this one Dick's store and people were lined up around the corner, like camping out, trying to get the shoe.
This chaos only made Nike's bet on a single player look even more brilliant, especially when you examine the economic reality she created. The numbers are so absurd, they barely sound real. An economist at Indiana University calculated that in her rookie season alone, Clark was responsible for a $36 million economic impact on the city of Indianapolis. Before that, she generated an estimated $52.3 million for the state of Iowa during her college career. But the most shocking statistic of all is this: she was personally responsible for 26.5% of the entire WNBA's economic activity in 2024. More than a quarter of all ticket sales, merchandise sales, and media value for the whole league was tied to one single player.
And I'm here to tell you, they dropping some merch too. Now you can pre-order Caitlin Clark signature t-shirts, man. Nike wasted no time in getting the ball rolling for the Caitlin Clark brand. Now, I've been pretty vocal about this. I believe they're turning Caitlin Clark brand into a luxury athletic brand. Hence why the logo looked eerily, this is just my theory, to the Gucci logo. But I will say this, though. It is a unisex logo. You can tell by how the logo is designed. You can tell by how the logo is made. It is definitely a unisex logo. And guys, I'm telling you.
An analysis found that 1 out of every 6 tickets sold in any WNBA arena could be attributed to fans coming just to see her play. The Indiana Fever's home attendance skyrocketed to a league record 17,036 per game, a number that even surpassed their NBA counterparts, the Pacers. Strip away those numbers, and the league's triumphant claims of record attendance ring hollow and disingenuous. This level of influence is unheard of. As some analysts have argued, Patrick Mahomes does not mean this much to the NFL, and even LeBron James does not mean this much to the NBA. Clark isn't a star in the WNBA. She is the WNBA's entire economy.
The Caitlin Clark collaborations just keep coming, ladies and gentlemen. The God Caitlin Clark has now done a collaboration with Stanley, man. You know how huge this is? You know how many ladies love they Stanley Cup, man? And now you got the most electrifying woman in women's basketball collaborating with them, man. I can't wait to see what it is. Is it going to be Clark's logo on the Stanley Cup, man? What is it going to be? Good job, Stanley, picking up Caitlin Clark to do a collaboration with y'all, man, because this is going to be huge, man.
This kind of unprecedented power doesn't just create fans, it creates enemies, and the psychological warfare was just beginning. While Nike was treating Clark like royalty and showering her with a deal that rivaled male sports icons, the rest of the league's players were fighting for scraps. During the All-Star Weekend, the same weekend viewership cratered without Clark, many veteran players wore "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts, a silent protest for better wages and basic respect. Now they are forced to watch as a rookie secures a deal that dwarfs what most of them will earn in their entire careers combined.
You know, just trying to be that kind of soundboard for her and that voice, having gone through something kind of similar. And, you know, knowing obviously it's really unfortunate that we don't have her, but, you know, she means a lot more to the game than just showing up and playing. And I think you're able to see that with just the excitement in Indy right now, regardless of if she's playing or not.
Nike isn't just paying Clark, they're paying her what insiders call Jordan money, the kind of investment that comes with the expectation of global domination. This creates an impossible, toxic dynamic within the league. Every other player is being forced to watch as their profession. The league they helped build becomes a mere backdrop for the Caitlin Clark show. They are being reduced to replaceable parts in a machine built to glorify an irreplaceable star, and the unspoken resentment is one of the league's dirtiest, most volatile secrets.
You, man, the ladies is gonna love this, man. They already be walking around with they big ass Stanley Cups, never letting it go. And now you got a God Caitlin Clark Stanley Cup collaboration. Fire, man. But what else can you do when the most electrifying woman in women's basketball is just out there, man? And you know you gonna want to do a collaboration with her because it's gonna bring all the goddamn attention, man. Good job, Clark. Congratulations, man. Let the endorsements and the collaborations keep rolling, ladies and gentlemen.
As she prepared to return, it was clear her comeback wouldn't just be about playing a game. It would be about claiming her throne. Nike's branding for her was meticulously planned and flawlessly executed. The logo, which Clark was hands-on in designing, features two interwoven C's to represent her unique connection with fans, and a hidden smaller C to symbolize how her game was built from the inside out with relentless practice. This isn't just merchandise, it's sophisticated storytelling on a level the WNBA has never seen. Her logo collection is set to launch, with her first signature shoe debuting in 2026. This branding extends beyond the court. Collaborations with brands like Stanley have already been announced, positioning her not just as an athlete, but as a full-blown lifestyle icon. When she finally steps back onto the court, wearing her own logo on her jersey and shoes, it will feel less like a return from injury and more like a hostile takeover made official. It will be a stark visual reminder to everyone, the fans, the other players, and the league itself, of who truly holds all the power. Nike's message is now loud, clear, and undeniable, and it has left the WNBA with a terrifying realization. They didn't just sign a player, they strategically hijacked the entire future of women's basketball. For decades, the WNBA struggled for mainstream relevance. Then Caitlin Clark arrived, and the league was gifted a golden goose, a once-in-a-generation phenomenon. But in a mix of arrogance and neglect, they allowed her to be physically targeted by resentful players and failed to create an environment that could protect her from injury, exposing their own profound fragility in the process. Nike saw the writing on the wall and made its move. The league spent months pretending they didn't need their biggest star, and Nike just reminded everyone of exactly what they've been missing. Clark's logo isn't just fashion, it's a warning shot. The league didn't build a superstar. A superstar is now building her own empire on their foundation, and the scariest part. The WNBA is finally realizing they never had a choice in the matter, and they are now nothing more than spectators in their own league, watching the coronation of their new queen.